Davidians. I'm Reed Collins in Washington.
Atkinson at the CNN Center in Atlanta. After a 51-day standoff, law enforcement authorities moved an armored vehicle on the Branch Davidian compound near Waco, Texas, and drew volleys of gunfire. The vehicle punched holes in buildings where more than 90 cult members have been holding out and pumped tear gas inside. FBI agent Bob Ricks said that Steve Schneider, a deputy to cult leader David Koresh, was warned by telephone that tear gas would be used. Schneider reportedly hung up the phone. Ricks tells what happens next.
The FBI began to move an M60, that's a combat engineering vehicle, to the southwest corner of the compound where our agents were met with a volley of gunfire. It is estimated those inside the compound fired approximately 75 to 80 rounds during this initial volley. The FBI did not return fire. Gas was inserted using a Mark V delivery system secured to a boom. Also, non-pyrotechnic delivery systems were utilized to insert CS gas. The occupants in the compound were advised, "This is not an assault. Do not fire. If you fire, your fire will be returned. We are introducing non-lethal tear gas. Exit the compound now and follow instructions. You are responsible for your own actions. Come out now and you will not be harmed. You will be provided medical attention. Come out and you will be treated professionally. No one will be injured. Submit to proper authorities. Do not subject yourself to any more discomfort." Those were quotes that were delivered. There were other statements that were given over periodic intervals during this initial assault on the compound. Today's actions is not an indication that our patience has run out. The action was taken today was, we believe, the next logical step in a series of actions to bring this episode to a conclusion. Dozens and dozens of rounds have been fired at FBI agents. We estimate on each incursion in the building we were subjected to 10 to 12 rounds after the initial volley. The FBI, in an effort to demonstrate its extraordinary restraint, has not returned fire thus far. I'll now answer questions. Yes?
What kind of response did we have this morning from the cult members to your latest action? And then I have a follow-up.
What type of response have we had? The only response that we have had after the initial contact where they slammed down the phone, we believe they actually threw the phone out the door, was the display of the banner. They have requested that the phone line be restored. Now, what does that mean? We have pictures were displayed on the TV shortly before I came here. They were allowed to exit the compound. We have told them to try to reconnect the previous phone line to see if it's functional. If not, we'll try to do other means to maintain contact with them. Yes.
And then follow up, what about injuries? Any on either side that you're aware of this morning?
Any report of injuries? We have no reports of injuries on either side at this point.
CNN's Mike Capps is on the scene. You're looking at a live picture near Waco, Texas right now of the compound. Mike Capps joins us live. Mike?
Well, we're seeing just a little activity here outside this building. Bob Ricks also made a point about how much gas they were pumping in there. It's quite an impressive amount. They've made a dozen insertions into the building, he said, as of the time he began his news conference. And there are 15 different blasts of this CS gas, and each blast covers a 55-square-foot area. And Rick says that the entire compound, they can get gas to the entire compound and intend to pound and pound and pound that gas until these people come out.
It was kind of interesting, Mike, because although agents had said all along that they planned to wait this thing out, you could see in the news conference today from the aerial view that Bob Ricks was showing us how they have slowly and quite meticulously cleared away the compound, the perimeter of it, knocking down the brush and so on, obviously preparing for the eventuality they would have to go in.
Moving Mr. Koresh's prized black Camaro with a 427 engine in it, yes. He also mentioned in the news conference, if you'll remember, the first seal was not completed, and they considered the meetings with the lawyers a fiasco. Sort of a build-up, it seemed to me, that this negotiating and this talking and this waiting wasn't going anywhere, and so it appeared to be time to take action, and that's what the FBI did this morning.
Now tell us about how the FBI is handling this operation in conjunction with ATF. The alcohol, tobacco, and firearms agents are not involved in this specific assault today?
No. They are periphery people. The FBI, they even drive these motorized armored vehicles. FBI agents are manning those. It is strictly an FBI operation. They punch the holes in the wall. It's their people that inserts the tear gas, and it's their people that have received what Rick says up to 200 rounds of gunfire, although it's gunfire aimed at the vehicles, not at agents themselves. We have seen no agents exposing themselves in any of our pictures, and there's a pretty tight shot of the compound itself. Not a lot of activity going on right now, but it's kind of come in waves. You'll see a flurry of activity, and then 10 to 15 minutes, not much activity. This is the sentry site going into the compound area where the FBI agents have set up. Those are Texas Department of Public Safety state trooper cars coming out of the compound area.
Tell us what you know about the intricacy of the layout of this huge compound, including what are believed to be tunnels or crawl spaces underneath.
It's a city block area on a 77-acre compound on a relatively flat prairie 10 miles northeast of Waco, Texas. As you can see, it's massive. To get gas in there, Rick says it's relatively easy.